Good afternoon, everybody, or after, I should say, early evening. This is MicheleMarieDalene, North American Snow Queen. Uh, this is our second try. We actually worked on this earlier today, and what happened was it got so chaotic around here in the studio that we tried to and kind of make it into a bit of you know, behind the scenes view video, but I really kind of didn't think it was very professional, and so I decided to retry it. So let me explain what we're going to talk about today. Um, it's we talked briefly about this me and Lemmy before. It's about reality, and that scientists are beginning to wonder if reality is more of a subjective thing, and it's kind of illusionary. What that means is that what one person sees through is their five senses. Now, we could include the sixth sense, which is spirituality, but most people don't really usually think of that as a sense. And second of all, is some people do not have a very good sixth sense and some do. So for that reason, we're going to try to focus on the five senses. These are seeing, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Now, those five senses, of course, is how we see interact with the world around us. And because of this, we perceive everything through those five senses. Now, in an earlier discussion, which unfortunately kind of got lost in all the noise, I gave an example of talking about my hair color, explaining that in some light situations, for example, my hair can look, it's supposed to be pure white. I'm talking about when my hair's freshly done. Obviously, it's growing out now. But that alone makes an excellent video topic. Is if your hair is pure white, that means it reflects all light, right? So you would think that in all cases, that means that if you're in the bright sunlight versus incandescent light, your hair would still be white. Yes, but it reflects back the light that is presented to it. So, which means that in many rooms with incandescent light sources, my hair looks yellow. In the natural pure sun, my hair looks white-ish blue. In the case of some artificial lighting, my hair looks green. CFLs tend to make my hair look greenish. And then we have to process out the green using the tint control on the camera. Now, all of this changes the way how we interact with the world. And it's the same thing with what we hear. Some people, for example, enjoy certain music, and they, see the way music is played, the whole environment. It's a holistic thing. It's not just one piece. Now, last night I had a chance to experience altering of realities because I was half asleep with Lemmy, and we both kind of woke up, semi-woke. And we found out that we were looking at this very strange situation. Straight ahead of my bedroom, straight ahead of my bed, there was a forest. And yes, there were birds chirping. And there was a small brook, meandering brook running by. Okay? And you could smell the pine needles and things like that. It really, really was a nice place. However, you could still see a little vestige of the street light coming through the window in the rear on the wall. So I knew that in essence it was still part of my bedroom. In other words, the two are overlaid. The forest is overlaying the everyday reality that we see every day. Then I happened to turn my head just a tiny bit, and the forest turned into a seascape. Now I could hear the waves crashing against the shore, the seagulls, the taste of the salt in the air, and then And the next thing you know, I decided to twist my head to another direction, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at a small city at night while the lights are on and some small cars driving by. Kind of similar to Winstead, actually. And then I said, So I tilt my head back the other way, and I was able to see the other two vestiges I saw earlier. So I said to Lily, I don't get it. She says, you're looking at the locus of reality. I said, locus of reality. This is what the scientists on the Science Channel are saying, is that reality is an illusion. You're seeing right through that illusion. You're seeing as it really is. So, in other words, the realities that we see around us are illusionary. Because somebody who, for example, is totally blind would have a whole completely different sense of what's around them than a person who has sight. But yet, okay, but doesn't that mean that there has to be some kind of consensus of what reality is? Now, I was using an example earlier about the rules of the road, and it's a good example. If you get into your car, okay, you and your other drivers on the road, say a highway system, have to have an understanding of how to drive the car, when to make a right turn, when to make a left turn, which lanes are passing lanes, and things like that. It's the same with reality. We have what we call rules of the road in reality, okay? Although, unlike the traffic laws, they're a lot harder to pinpoint the rules of reality. So let's try to figure out a couple. Number one, we have what we call courtesies. Okay. Number one, for example, we all know we have to eat. We all know we have to sleep. We all know we have to excrete. And we all know that many of us choose to breed. So therefore, we have social cues and norms that we use. But, on the other hand, since reality is a relative thing, not everybody sees the world the same way, which sometimes leads to problems with understanding and realization of what reality is. And the reason it's hard to explain reality is it's so subjective. I watched it. I understood what that dream was trying, or what I was experiencing last night. I understood it instinctually, okay? But to explain it and trying to explain, what we consider normalcy, what's not normalcy, is like trying to explain calculus to a child. I mean, it's just something pre-calculus. It's so difficult to explain to me, but I understand it instinctually. And I'm going to share this with you because there's a lot of confusion on this. We're going to focus on this is called it says here, a dimension is a state of consciousness. Indigos are born in the indigo or blue ray of incarnation and evolution, but into 3D bodies with their consciousness firmly in the fourth or fifth dimension. Crystal is born with a consciousness in the sixth dimension. Alright. Now, we talked about reality. Well, now we're going to talk about another level of reality. But hopefully I can save my ass. Okay, now, we talk about the third dimension. Now, this is a big chart. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. We're going to start with the third dimension and work our way up. Okay? The third dimension of space. awareness of point, line, width, and breadth. That's how thick the line is. Height and volume. Human beings in higher animal kingdom resonate in this level. Awareness of oneself as a separate and unique individual. Very little awareness of the interconnectedness of beings and actions. The third dimension is locked in a time space and cause and effect paradigm through the individual human souls. As humans, we have the ability to remember the past and the future while remaining aware of the present. However, while using only our third dimensional consciousness, much of our past remains forgotten in our unconscious mind, and we usually feel a sense of separation from the whole. A feeling of limitation in achieving our desires, and a need to work hard to accomplish our goals. Okay. Now, I got a feeling I'm going to be interrupted again. Oh, please. Now, then we go. This chart goes into a lot. Now, people talk about the fifth and the sixth dimension. I'm going to talk more about the ninth, but I also, to talk about the ninth, we have to talk about the eighth and the seventh dimension, because I'm in ninth level. So, I think we need to focus on that briefly, just so we understand what it is. The seventh dimension, actually, why don't we start sixth? The crystal child or magical child, crystal consciousness, has access to magical and spiritual aspects and a playfulness of life. Life is seen as a magical and blessed. All life is directed and advanced through the work of spirit. The person of the sixth dimension surrenders to the flow of the spirit's evolution while exercising the right to be a creator on an individual level. Okay, in other words, we can create things, and this kind of works out really well with reality, because we create our own realities. We don't necessarily, we have the rules of the road, but we also are uniquely self-creating. The seventh dimension is fully aware of the nature of the spirited mission of the being, crystal adult, ready to take on a planetary mission as a carer of higher dimensions consciousness to others. For example, through teaching and healing on a big scale, or carrying energy in one's aura so that others can access on a big scale. I do that through these videos. Okay? The eighth dimension is the archetypal level of consciousness, when the person has full control over the story of life on Earth. The ninth, that's the eighth. The ninth, they put them two together because you'll notice that one of my late friends pointed out that I have long ago transcended from the fifth all the way up to the ninth, but it was at that time it was still pretty new. She mentioned that I was able to reach a level of the 11th at points, but that's pretty rare. The ninth level, just so you understand this, full cosmic consciousness has full responsibility for stewardship of the planet. The ninth dimension incorporates the eighth. Of course, it makes sense when you think about it, because I'm a North American snow queen, and I am a weather stewardess. That's my job. So yeah, it does make sense when we talk about consciousness. But we also brings up a very interesting way of looking at reality. Are we getting there? Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, so let's see now if I can try to bring this back into earlier. A ninth level consciousness, when trying to work with people who are still stuck in maybe third dimension or fourth dimension, because fourth dimension is time. We we are as difficult for them to understand, like I said, as calculus is to a toddler. Try to explain to a baby what calculus is, and they will never understand. Try to explain to a cat or a dog what life is. They won't understand you at all. I mean, try to explain them good and bad. They only understand it on a simple level. But the point is that a Earth planetary steward, in my case, weather. Okay, and I only work one season out of the year. I don't work 2 seasons. Mother has never asked me to do autumn. Sherry Heaton asked me if I would be willing to do autumn if need came up for it. Mother never asked me about autumn, but she had told me that always been a hard time finding people for autumn because most people like spring and more people like summer than spring, but spring and summer seem to be the most popular. So it's easy for her to find qualified candidates for spring and summer, but for autumn, not so much. And that's the problem. If you can't, but she knows I don't want to do autumn. She knows I love winter, and that's why I do what I do in the wintertime. But that also means that I have to face same 9 months out of the year like everybody else does, or I don't really feel too comfortable in my season. Like I said, this video is going to be very hard to explain this, but I will try to just tell you that I can understand it instinctually. I understand exactly what I'm trying to say, but trying to understand it emotionally and mentally in my heart and trying to explain it into the open means is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing on the 7th dimensional level. So you see, you got understanding what you're feeling and then reaching out there and teaching other people. There's not too many 7th dimensional people out there who can take out the time and say, okay guys, look, here's how it all works. A lot of the time, because some of the stuff is to me is so, it's like, I understand it instinctually really well, but to try to put it into something that's so abstract for so many into a language that those many people could understand and not lose the meaning of the message is very difficult at best. But I would love to hear from you. So please, do me a favor. Let me know if there's any particular questions you would like to know. I will do my best to answer them. And I'm sorry that this video isn't really as polished as I wish it was. I do try, but as I said, the Locus of Reality is a very difficult thing to explain. To a 9th level consciousness, I understand it, but trying to explain it to the public is just really difficult. So anyway, here's how you reach me. For those of you who are watching this through non-YouTube channel and you want to get to my YouTube page, it's easy. It's http://www.youtube.com/user/BICHELA4. If you want to send me email with your questions or whatever, it's easy. It's BICHELA3@gmail.com. And yes, I am on Google Plus, so you can reach me there as well. And I'm on Facebook. So, and I'm also on Reddit. And I'm on MySpace. and I'm a blogger. And like I explained earlier to another video to Sherry Heaton, I am on at least 5 or 6 social sites. I'm on Orchid. I'm on Pinterest. So there's no reason why you can't reach me. And don't forget, even when I screw up, I still will keep trying to reach out to you. And even if I mess up, it doesn't. By the way, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. If you misunderstood something or you fail to prove a point, that's actually a very common thing. And as I said, I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of material. And plus, there's even more tons and tons and tons and tons of videos on the internet. I can't read it all. I'm still trying to. Okay, so maybe my example of reality, the locus of reality, may be a little incorrect, but I'll work on it somewhere. Okay, I promise you that. And you can do me a favor and ask me questions. If you ask me questions, maybe I can explain it better. If the questions are being asked instead of just me trying to explain everything. So ask the questions. I'll look at the questions. I'll think about the questions, and then I'll come back with an answer. Okay? Now, you have a nice night, guys. Oh, don't forget, Tuesday, I'm going to be getting my hair done. So, I will look a lot better after Tuesday. And we are going to be celebrating on September 22nd. We'll be Mabon, which is the beginning of autumn. Yay! And don't forget that we will also be a part of, and I'm just going to tell you this now ahead of time, unless it changes. December 21st, 2013 is going to be on a Saturday. And I will be at the Open Door Soup Kitchen on a Saturday because it is the second Saturday of the month of December. And I will be making a state appearance that day. So you'll get a chance to see me as I am dressed for the winter holidays of Yule. So we'll see each other there also. And don't forget to check out Lummy's channel too. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I really need you. Please. Would you like to give honors? Yes, I would love to. First of all, if you want to reach me, it's LumiFinstra@gmail.com. And we have a tiny URL so you can access my channel. It is http://forward/LUMIFINSTRA. And there you can reach my channel through that site, which makes it a lot easier. And if you're watching the Michelle's channel, you can go right to my channel. Just go to the About, and you'll see that there's a link to go to my channel on Michelle's channel. Michelle put that in case you needed to find another way to get to the channel. Please check it out, subscribe, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah. And of course, I'm going to let you go, guys, because it's getting hot. You know, these lamps, a lot of heat out in here, and we forgot to open the window again. No kidding, it's hot in here. Alright, so, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.